Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm V. Come wine with me. Today I'm going to whine about Love is Blind, the reunion. I mean, I honestly don't have a whole lot to say. It was kind of boring. Nothing really stuck out too much other than Shake being a douche. Oh, excuse me. My prediction about Mallory and Sal came to fruition. They did date, but they didn't wind up remaining together. They realized it wasn't a match. We can all see that, I think. Natalie and Shane, they're no longer together. Shane still looks like a crackhead. He's moving a lot in Someone, I was watching, it was actually a vlog, but like she talked about it. It was Jessie Wu. And she made a comment about Shane looking like Donkey from Shrek, and I just cannot unsee it. I can't unsee it for the life of me. He's like, I can't unsee it. But yeah, those two are no longer together. I think there was a question put forth about whether he and Shayna like got together at any point. I didn't get clarity on that, and I didn't look into social media any to see. But they seem to be pretty mum about it anyway. I suspect that he and Shayna just a little sneaking. But I don't have anything to back that up. It just seemed like, I feel like when that issue's kind of brought up, they seemed to get really uncomfortable and like didn't say anything. But anyway, Shayna and Kyle, yeah, there wasn't much going on there. Who cares? You know, she looked like she needed glasses, squinting on. Like, girl, what's wrong with you? I guess her squint is like legendary. I don't know why every episode this woman is in, she's but yeah, not much to say about Shayna and Kyle. He tried to make himself some type of capitalist victim. No, thank you. No, thank you, sir. You don't get to do that. You know, he tried to make it seem like, oh, she should have never accepted my, proposal if she knew, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, while I agree, and she has taken ownership of that, you also knew as well, and you practically begged her to give it a shot. And so she did, but it didn't work out in your favor. And so now you want to act like she's done you so dirty. Boy, shut up with your caveman forehead looking ass. Yeah, I still feel like too many people in this season were like really actors trying to be put on. And again, we know that a lot of these reality shows, they get, people who either, want to act or are actors or want to be in the entertainment industry in some capacity. But I felt like it was just too evident this season. It just felt too evident, and nothing felt organic. Nothing felt real. Like, for example, first season, Lauren Speed, like, she was already like a social media type, communications major, whatever she said she was. She was already kind of in that social media, like, desire to be a social media queen or whatever. So yeah, she's coming to this for exposure and whatnot. She probably really came in for the same reason any old actor or someone who wants to be in the entertainment industry comes in. But I still believe her and Cam's story. Like, I still believe that they, even given whatever reasons that brought them there, that they really came in and they found love with one another. And that they were coming into the process and that they still gave of them their true selves. I wasn't getting that from a lot of these people. Like, they still it still felt like they stayed in actor mode, as opposed to, yeah, I might have come here for exposure, and I'm still here for exposure, but I'm still going to actively participate in this process authentically. Because I think you can walk and chew gum at the same time. Like, no matter what reasons that brought you there, you're still there, and you can still you can choose how you show up. And I felt like this season, too many people showed up as actors and remained in actor mode throughout the entire time instead of going into reality TV actor mode. You know, like, you still bring of yourself, bring that to the screen, bring that authenticity, and I just wasn't getting that from a lot of these people, and it was very annoying and frustrating because it was just an unsatisfying season. So having said that, I got that very much with Kyle and Shayna. You know, the reasons that brought them there are the reasons that made him propose and made her accept, when they both knew clearly that he shouldn't have proposed and she shouldn't have accepted. And it was also like clear that she wasn't particularly attracted to him, which sure, one can get over, but not get over in addition to being of faiths that are completely incompatible. I mean, listen, you gotta pick a struggle, and they have more than one struggle, is what I'm saying. You know. Anyhow, moving along. Of course, Ayanna and Jarrett. Ayanna and Jarrett are still together. Ayanna noticeably gained a little weight. And yes, I'll admit, part of me was thinking, I know that girl ain't pregnant. I know she ain't pregnant. They didn't say anything about being pregnant. But Ayanna, you could tell she got a little extra weight on her. So I'll just for now assume it's happy weight. I thought it was cute that she and Jarrett both had on like matching sneakers, and Nick and Danielle also had on matching sneakers. Or was it? Did they both have on sneakers? Yeah, I think they both had on sneakers or outfits. Maybe it was matching outfits. Yeah, they both couples basically had on matching outfits. I thought that was cute. Even though I'm still side. Jarrett still got my good eye on him. Still don't quite trust his behind. Still feel like Ayanna could have done better. But, you know, I still wish the best for them and want, you know, nothing but happiness for them, because, you know, I think Ayanna deserves it. She seems like such a sweet woman, and, you know, I just wish the best for her. So Nick and Danielle, they seem to have really settled in together. And, you know, Nick got the beard he always wanted, and, you know, may they live happily ever after. And let's see, who am I missing? Am I missing anyone? Don't think I'm missing anyone. There was some talk about, you know, Kyle also having an attraction to, I think I'm correct, was it Kyle? Yeah, I think Kyle said that, you know, he liked DT. That was kind of cute. Sal seemed, I don't know, when I was watching, I was surprised by how upset Sal seemed to be. Like, he actually seemed to be mad. He seemed to have a little bit of heat, like a little bit of steam coming out of his ears, just a little bit. I was surprised by that. He seemed really upset, and I think it's because he felt like he was gaslighted by Mallory and by Jarrett, when Jarrett did downplay the incident in Mexico. He did downplay it, and he still, to some extent, you know, tap danced around it, but he did at least acknowledge that it was inappropriate and that, you know, it shouldn't have happened. And you know, Mallory seemed to have done the same. And I think I also got the impression, because Sal gave us the impression that more had gone down, but he wasn't going to say what, and he was not going to put Mallory on blast in any way, or their situation on blast in any way. And know, I found that respectable, but at the same time, it's like, sir, this is what the reunion's for. Give us the tea. Give us the tea. But you know, he did what he felt was right, and I can only, you know, appreciate and honor that. But I still want to know, and I hope that over the next coming months, you know, some stuff, maybe the folks around them, maybe his sisters can put a little something on Twitter and let us give us a little breadcrumb. I will like say Sal. He also kind of like went at Jared again, and I was just like, oh, I think that is so cute. I like that he called Jared to the carpet for trying to play down the conversation that he and Mal had, and I just thought, like, I just like that. I just like somebody who can be about that life. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Mariachi, you know what I'm saying? Sal, who is supposed to be all like peace loving, a romantic, a troubadour. Nah, he was like, first of all, I saw what you did, and why'd you lie to my face? Man, what's up? Like, I was like, I like saying what's going on, because I mean, honestly, if anything, there was kind of a question of whether Sal really had a girlfriend, you know. So if anyone should be upset, it's like, should Mal be the one that's upset? But whatever, we don't know. We don't know what's going on there, and what we do know for sure actually is that nothing is going on there anymore, so it doesn't matter. So one thing I did want to comment on is Shake. Shake came off as very inauthentic. I think he's an actor. I think he's a bad actor. I think that, you know, obviously he has some deep-rooted colorism to deal with, self-hate to deal with. You know, I think that he doesn't like Deep D because she's a reflection of him, and he doesn't really like himself, and he seeks validation in whiteness. You know, seeing that play out on TV with another culture was interesting. I am aware that colorism is a big issue in India and with Indians, but I feel like it is more, I feel like it's more accepted. You know, for example, like, there's this show called Indian Matchmaker, and they will straight up say that they're looking for someone fair. You know, like, be like, oh, I want them to be well educated, to, you know, come from a good family and be fair. You know, it's out there. But in this country, at least amongst Black Americans, we're very aware of colorism and hyper aware of colorism, and so in some ways it's something that it's not acceptable, right? It's not, we know it exists, but it's not acceptable to verbalize. So I do think that Jared is probably colorist, but it's not okay, and he cannot, without being blasted by Black Twitter, verbalize that he really wanted a light-skinned or mixed woman, or straight-up white woman. You know, he would not be able to verbalize it even if his actions show that, right? Whereas I feel like Shake, at least in his culture, he could verbalize that, but not in America. Not in America. I just mean like in his culture, like in India. Well, he's American, but you know what I mean. Like, the background, his ethnic background is more, it's more acceptable to do that, to verbalize that you want someone who is lighter complected. But on this soil, not so much. And so I feel like Shake, you know, how he got around that was basically comparing Deep D to his aunties. And, you know, oh, she's like my aunts, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, what it really is she's like you, and you don't like you. And especially, I think Deep D's like a little, like half a shade darker than him, a little bit darker. And for women, like the guy can be darker, but not the woman. Like for a man, you want, you know, like everything's a status, you know, a symbol of status. So a fair, you know, woman is a symbol of status. And in this country, I mean, Shay could get up, he can straight up get a white girl, which is why he has to let everyone know he loves blonde and blue. You know, blonde girls, petite blonde girls, like he has to let everyone know that because that's his, you know, that's his measure of status. Anyhow, ridiculous. But Shake is a mess, and I will say I had to catch myself because I was disgusted when I actually had to agree with him about something. During the course of the reunion, he mentioned that, you know, this process is called Love is Blind, not, you know, blind marriage or something to that effect. And I actually agree with him on that particular thing. You know, love is blind. This is, I feel like love and attraction, they don't have to be synonymous. I do believe that, you know, this process, like I do believe, you know, people can fall in love. But once love and attraction, like kind of, if they work hand in hand, that's when you get a romantic relationship. And so that part didn't work out. But the love part, I do think, you know, it is possible at least. And I think that, you know, to say that, well, you know, getting engaged and getting married is part of this particular process. Well, sure, that might be how they set up this particular show, but the show is called Love is Blind. And they say it's about really seeing if people can, you know, find love without first, like, looking at a person or whatever, or knowing what a person looks like. And I do think, you know, it is possible. But that's only if you see love as a feeling. If you think of love as a verb, that's a little something different, right? Because it's love in action. And I will push back on Shake, because even though I do agree, like, the show is called Love is Blind, and, you know, it worked in the sense that, like, love was found without, like, the physical being considered. Love is also about action, and I feel like his actions, even if he really did love deeply, he didn't show it. He didn't act in loving ways toward her, and he was, like, actively disrespectful. And so I think that even though, again, I do think love was there, the feeling, I think he did things that were hurtful because he wanted to push her away. Like, he did not want to be loving toward her. He did not want to this thing to end in marriage. Like, you really want him marrying someone that looks like him? How could he? How could he? He doesn't love himself. How could he? So yeah, I mean, I think that's where that's where I fall on that. On the one hand, this show and this experiment is about whether or not you can find love without, you know, looks being a factor. I do think that's possible. But in Shake's particular situation, he might have had that feeling, but he could not act on it because ultimately he can't act on love because he does not love himself. And I think that, you know, to expect someone to be loving and show love and kindness toward someone in an instance where their reflection reminds you of something you dislike in the mirror, you know, it's bound to fail. And your love can only go but so far. And even if he was to find the perfect little petite, you know, blonde that can fit, maybe even on one shoulder, never mind both, like just one shoulder. Even if he found purpose and feed his ego, but I don't think he would ever really be able to love her. That's my opinion. But yeah, I think it's kind of sad to think about, honestly. But anyhow, also it was disrespectful for him to, he said, there was a point in the show where Vanessa, who is one of the hosts, Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey are married and they're the host of the show. And so Vanessa kind of went off on him because she was like disgusted by how he was treating Dee Dee. So she got out of character a little bit. And she looked like she was actually upset. And she tried to pull it back. Oh, I'm sorry, I got it. It was just like, oh girl, no, we already saw it. We already saw it. You can't bring it back. We saw it. We already saw it. But something crazy happened, and that is Shake's stupid behind made a comment about how he wasn't attracted to anyone, any of the women on the panel or whatever on the stage except for Vanessa. Well, nobody asked you. Secondly, that is really disrespectful to call out how attracted you are to a woman who has her husband sitting right next to her. If I was Nick, I'd be like, swear up. Right now. Camera, pause. Turn the camera off. Take this doggone mic. Square up. Square up. Straight like that. Like, that's disrespectful. It's disrespectful really to everyone, but like especially the married couple, because it's like, you know they're married and they're also both there, and also you already know that Vanessa don't want nothing to do with you, so why are you calling out that you're so attracted to her? Nobody want to know that. Nobody wants to know that. It's not an honor to be found attractive by you, Shake. No thank you, boo. This season I didn't really enjoy the reunion. The couples, we got 2 solid marriages out of this season. One of them I do think is a sham. Well, I mean, at least I called it. I did call it. Like, both of them wound up staying together because little self-esteem issues on the lady's part. In both, if you ask me. In both couples. Low self-esteem on the lady's part. So that's my commentary on Love is Blind Season 2, the reunion. If they do another season, I really hope that they just choose better storylines to follow. Oh, excuse me. Because like I said, it's just too many of these individuals like stuck out to me as being there as being actors or like wanting to be in the industry or something, because there's just too many people came up, or too many people struck me as being inauthentic. Just too many of them. To too large a degree. They just seem very, very inauthentic. And it's just very disappointing season overall. But that's all I have to say about that. So thanks for whining with me.